Number 2, the turkey. The northern year of the turkey in the Mesoamerican year count is derived specifically from the traditional year-bearer symbol of the tecpatl, meaning flint, but expressing the idea of flint knife. The symbol of the flint knife in Mesoamerican iconography is probably the most widespread and consistent of all Mesoamerican symbols, appearing everywhere in the codices due to its easily traceable oval pattern, and as well to its role in the overtly encompassing Mesoamerican concept of human sacrifice. For that matter, it is more often than not depicted bloodstained. Fortunately, behind the astrological symbol was assigned a ruler that appears at least somewhat less violent, but like the flint, it was indeed nonetheless a symbol of warfare as well. The astrological ruler described here is that of the Mesoamerican turkey, called by many names including Wewe Totolin, and more commonly by its modern nahuatl term as Huexolotl. It is currently most heard of in its ancient ritual terminology as that of Chalchiwe Totolin, meaning jeweled fowl. This describes the bird's glittery feathered displays and blue, red, and fleshy head, which amounted to a combative bird with an ornate warrior's outfit to go along with the displays of dominance and the demonstration of superiority in combat that was commonly found on the ritualistic battlefields of yesteryear. The turkey is the symbol of the Mesoamerican warrior tradition, and any warrior who could catch the turkey by its tail was determined as lucky in war. Turkeys in ancient Mesoamerica were also featured regularly in the codices and were an important part of the ancient Mexican economy. This bird, in fact, had many important ritualistic and iconographic associations. In one tradition, it was believed that turkeys were the leftover remnant of a former race of humans from the Third World who were destroyed in a calamity of raining fire. This myth serves to reinforce the relationship of man with the turkey animal. Also, ceramic incense burners were molded into the form of turkey claws, and which supported burnt and smoking rubber offerings that were held up in the sky to the sky gods by the priests. With this offering, they commemorated the glowing, smoking embers of the galactic center that were seen as being held in the claw arm of the Milky Way. Moreover, this association of smoke with this ritualistic offering recalls the name of the principal ruling war deity of the northern direction known as Tezcatlipoca, meaning smoking mirror, whose principal manifestation was in fact that of the turkey, and whose principal astronomic location was found in the galactic center. Turning away from the ancient deity association and the traditional astrological association with the flint, the turkey symbol becomes the perfect reprieve from the darkness of abstract symbols and concepts, and draws us ever closer to the inherent animal symbolisms that permeate most all astrological teachings from out of our ancestral heritage. This instructive change that I am here instituting is essential to the resurrection and survival of Mesoamerican astrology as a means of communicating with the general public and all those interested in witnessing the diversity of astrological seership from out of Mesoamerica. In short, electing the turkey as the official year symbol of the North is the first step in making the Aztec year count comprehensive, as in reality, this is truly the actual astrological essence of this sign placement. The year of the turkey in the Mesoamerican year count corresponds to the three Chinese year signs of the rat, the dragon, and the monkey. These are intensely ambitious year signs and correlate to the creative function of socialization and competition in the modern industrial world. This triad of influence in the Chinese cycle is referred to as the doers. They are often the initiators of activity, or at least they like to see themselves in that way. For this matter, they are very much performance and progress-oriented thinkers who will not tolerate others who may stand in their way or oppose their views. They are the types who need to stay busy all the time or else they feel uneasy about their life situation. In order to keep their influence over people, this group may exaggerate the importance of their ideas in order to propagate public interest. In the ancient Mesoamerican world, this was the symbol of the warrior and the warrior's ability to ascertain the right moment of action and method of attack. Therefore, it is an intellectual sign, but one that is geared towards action and results in the world of collective human endeavors. Anciently, war represented this key collective human endeavor that was in turn awarded with accolades and other privileges not available to the common man. Like the world of war, the turkey symbol is inclusive of structured human activity that is bounded by divisions in status and hierarchy, as these birds are very clannish in their gatherings, with displays of dominance and overt acts of warfare among them. This is often referred to as the pecking order, although it should be noted that the common lot of people born in these years, or on these days, is not always combative. As it turns out, war in this case would simply become an allusion to human activity in general, where there is a minimum of competition and conflict, but just enough of it, along with all of the other things that are held in common, to keep it interesting. As we abandon the tectactile symbol, we still nonetheless have as a resource a reminiscence of that symbol embedded in the meaning of the turkey and its symbolic role as the community warrior. Also, according to Bruce Schofield, the flint knife symbolizes the ambivalent, intuitive, and analytical knowledge of man, which assists to appropriate decisions according to one's own wishes. Therefore, once again, we can see here that the flint knife is a symbol of the cunning intellect and the master plan of action. So for that matter, we can see that the archetype of the northern Aztec year sign can easily be referred to as the turkey flint, as a quick reference to both symbols in terms of conversation. Finally, given the bluish color of certain species of this bird's head, we should also realize that the word turquoise and turkey are actually related. Indeed, the word for turquoise is derived from the French word for the location of Turkey as a country, where the stone was deemed to have its origin by the French. Also, the current name of the bird as being a turkey also has its origins from the likeness of that country's name as well, as it was once said that the bird had come from that country, although the idea was in error, as the bird was originally from Mexico. However, the name stuck as turkey, and remains to be the name of a bird recognized for its role in pertinent early American legacies. Interestingly, by default, this amounts to a coincidence of mundane proportions in which the jeweled fowl of Mexico, specifically referred to by the Aztecs as Chalchihuitotolin, actually ends up sharing the name of a precious stone in our modern world dialects. It probably should be noted, however, that the species of turkey from Mexico usually had a fleshy red head and was pictured this way in the codices. Number 3, the house. The western year of the house in the Mesoamerican year count corresponds to the 3 Chinese year signs of the serpent, the chicken, and the ox. These are intensely security-oriented signs, which often focus a great deal on outer circumstances to reinforce their notion of success and accomplishment. Intertwined with this personal sense of dignity, which many of the people from these 3 Chinese year signs seek, is the need to reinforce their roles with established relationships, which become part of their personal foundation and code of conduct. This is their part to play in the status quo, and indeed it may be reinforced by the object of large sums of money and other material possessions. In the Chinese cycle of years, this triad of influence is often called the purposeful thinkers, who compose their strategic plan of action among people while others are busy with simply socializing. They look at the situation around them as a scheme to be realized in the pursuit of some kind of hidden treasure, or a puzzle, if you will. For this matter, they are indeed secretive, reserved, and at times perhaps overly guarded about their disposition. They perform their scheme with a calm composure, making certain to ruffle no one's feathers, so that surely no one will ruffle theirs. If this does happen, however, this is when their usual unexpressed anger becomes most apparent, for it is within the boundaries of their self-manufactured privacy that they seek to insulate themselves from the world. In the ancient world, most houses that were used for human dwellings were humble. So therefore, the object that exemplified the great esteem of the community and kingdom was that of the central temple. In Mesoamerica, these temples began small and were built up at the end of every 52-year cycle. As the community built up its esteem over time through warfare, the turkey, the temple was then built higher to accommodate the growing status of the tribe with respect to the rest of the mass of Mesoamerican communities. In this sense, the central house, or teocalli, represented the reputation and esteem of the administration of the state. This particular social facet is true of all ancient pyramid building cultures found throughout the world. To this degree, the temple also literally represented the house of the tribe, who were believed in Mesoamerican cosmology to have emerged out of caves. So, then, for the matter of symbolism, it would also be true to say that the house structure represented the earth as well, particularly in the form of mountains, and the caves found within them. The very existence of the Earth Mountain was a symbol of the mass community, and was referred to as, by the ancient Nahuatl maxim, in atl in tepetl, meaning water and mountain, and referred to the picturesque mountain landscape as a pyramid emerging out of the ideal resource of water for community subsistence, and so being the source origin for humanity as well. The archetypical mountain and the waters that flowed down from it and congealed into the massive lakes below was a symbol of the earth in total, and the fecundant procreative capabilities as the source womb of all existence. For that matter, as a symbol of the West, it was referred to in the Nahuatl language as Siwet Lampa, meaning woman place, or where only the women go. This mountain house, again, was the symbol of man's primordial origins and existence. The Earth Mountain was understood as holding contents under pressure, a fact reinforced by actual volcanic explosions and the smoke that billowed from their tops. The very largesse of the mountain side reinforces the notion of pressure and something great at the mountain's center. To the Mesoamericans, this mountain center was symbolically the midnight sun, and was known as Tepeolotl, meaning mountain heart. Because of the deity's nocturnal features, it was considered a jaguar, and as a living being it was responsible for the earthquake rumblings within the mountain. This deity had specific esoteric connections with the rain god Tlaloc, who also dwelled within the mountain where the rains were kept according to certain cosmologies. This reinforces the idea of Tlaloc, the feline rain god, as being literally the midnight sun. Therefore, the rumbling of the thunder and lightning are also related to this house symbol as a container of great resources. The aspect of resources that the house symbol shares with its opposite, the reed symbol, is found in the fact that houses are often upheld by pillars that are like the reeds that uphold the houses of the heavens. Both are related to collective community ventures and the perspectives and decisions that are shared collectively, while the other polarity, of the turkey and the rabbit, are reserved for independent individual perspective and direction.